right, we have Christian Goodson, Alfonso Valencia, Kelly Bramkamp, Bjorn Yang Barnett, and Scott Rushing. We're really excited today to present to you our proposal for the 48.7-acre Spaywar site. We know there'll be 3 great proposals presented today. However, we are confident our proposal is creative enough to build excitement and realistic enough to be implemented. The subject site is in San Diego County off Interstate 5, adjacent to the Ace Airport. These facilities, occupied by Spaywar, date back to World War II when used to manufacture bombers. Problem is, today these same facilities use space inefficiently and serve as office space for high-tech employees that are decades behind what modern facilities offer today. The answer to this problem is our mixed-use development, The Landing. We approach this piece of land with 5 main objectives. Number 1, utilize land efficiency to support Spaywar's relocation to a new facility. 2, ignite the urban condition of Midway by activating the district through introducing a diverse mix of uses that complement the community plan. 3, offer facilities that attract and retain a top talent workforce. 4, create a new identity in San Diego that respects the history of the site. And 5, offer investors great financial returns. The Landing is on a 99-year ground lease with the Navy and will cost $1.1 billion. That will generate a leveraged internal rate of return of 23.42% and realize over $300 million in profit to equity. Our project will be built over a 10-year duration through 3 phases. Our strategy is to sell each building as a hit stabilization. Our highest and best use analysis came to multifamily, office, hotel, retail, and 4.5 acres of community parks. Excuse me. As we realize our master plan creates a vibrant sense of place, we will simultaneously add value through superior architecture and design. We recognize the opportunity and importance to draw attention to our site through the visibility it offers to our local population and visitors daily. This will only add to our financial success. I'll now pass it off to Christian to speak on our project design and layout.
Thank you, Tyler. When we decided to build the Landing, we made sure throughout the entire process that we had the community's best interests at heart. Nestled between the comforts of downtown, Old Town, Point Loma, and in close proximity to public transportation and the airport, but also in close proximity to popular destination points such as Pacific Beach, North Park, and Balboa Park. We ensured that our 18-hour live, work, play development be built and designed to withstand the test of time. We incorporated a boulevard with a 50-foot median to allow for grass space and outdoor seating. Through this, we activate the site and create a strong and vibrant sense of place. Our office, multifamily, and retail is surrounded by park and open green space, creating the feelings associated when one visits a national park or goes hiking on some of the beautiful trails located right in our backyard. And of course, the Landing is in alignment with the Midway Community Plan, with its phenomenal walkability and biking lanes to support active transportation and a healthy environment. We built complete, safe, and attractive linkages to our recreational amenities and our different car types. In turn, reducing the reliance on vehicles and lowering the impact we have on traffic. In essence, we minimize our carbon footprint. To pay tribute to the past, we developed a B-24 bomber replica onto one of our parks. This ties into the rich history of the site and pays homage to Spaywar. As you can see here, our parking structures facing the freeway act as murals, so oncoming drivers on the 5 can view the beautiful
rising demand for housing in San Diego. Our apartment research team confirms that multifamily is the highest and best component of our program. Our projected rents are consistent with the market, achieving a net operating income of $21.5 million by stabilization of phase 1. Our unit mix is dominated by studios and one-bedrooms to accommodate to our target market of young professionals, working couples, and millennials alike. One of the rising trends in multifamily today is the use of micro-units to provide attainable housing. By decreasing our unit size to 300 square feet, we're able to minimize our rents to $14.25 while still achieving a premium price per square foot of $4.75. Tenants who are unable to pay the studio rents that we're providing are willing to sacrifice space for the amenities and proximity that our development will provide. Going into our supply analysis, our development will be operating with no direct competition in our submarket. As you can see on this slide, comparable competing projects currently under construction reside in Mission Valley and downtown, making our development the newest building closest to the beach, the Interstate 5, and the airport. Out of the total 8,600 units currently under construction in San Diego, absolutely none of them are in our submarket. Let me tell you why that is. It's because our area is imposed by a 30-foot height restriction, meaning that multifamily developers are unable to push the density needed to make their projects profitable. The difference with our site is that we're on federal property, meaning that we're not imposed by this 30-foot height restriction. In fact, we have 150 feet height limit on the southern end and up to 250 feet on the northern end. This allows us to build vertically, increasing our dwelling units per acre, while still allocating a large portion of our land to open green space. At the landing, we're providing our tenants with an eco-friendly design by adhering to the Cal Green Building Codes, designating 10% of our parking to electric vehicles, and implementing various water conservation features. Through our research, we understand that our target market highly values accessibility, high living quarters, and close proximity to recreational activities. Taking all this into account, we made sure to provide our tenants with what they need by adding an anchor grocer, open green parks with walking and biking lanes, and a direct, easy access route to the Old Town Transit Center. If driving, however, is the preferred method for our tenants, we're right next to the Interstate 5, only minutes away to the beach, downtown, Valville Park. Now I'll pass it on to Tyler to speak on our office.
By 2020, millennials will consist of 44% of our workforce, driving further demand for exceptional and engaging live-work-play environments. Through our analysis, there's really not enough of this office product in the San Diego market. With nearly 70% of office buildings in San Diego being at least 20 years old. Our industry has begun to recognize that in San Diego with competing new projects, 2100 Kettner Little Italy, Ampersand Mission Valley, Baker's Corner, Blockton, East Village, and One Paseo, Del Mar. The San Diego sports arena Point Loma market is emerging into a new robust market for businesses. Year-over-year net absorption for the last 5 years has been about 16,000 square feet, and direct vacancy has been 8.8% compared to countywide 11.4%. There's been 0 square feet under construction and 230,000 square feet proposed at the post. Liberty Station nearby has achieved $3.99 full-service rents, showing that our submarket is capable to achieve above-market rents. Active tenant demand of all kinds remains strong in the San Diego market at 3.2 million square feet over the next 24 months. Of this, technology accounts for 28%, followed by defense at 15%. The San Diego unemployment rate remains below Los Angeles and the United States. With the majority of the office product in San Diego functioning obsolescent, in addition to a growing market, we can justify the demand for our new office campus. We will attract cybersecurity, technology, and biotech industries to our site. Spaylor is the region's anchor for the cybersecurity industry, and 63% of firms work directly or indirectly with the federal government. San Diego has also seen an 11% increase in cybersecurity jobs compared to the region's growth of 3% since 2016. This offers our investors a competitive advantage. Due to the industry's connectivity with the federal agency, this will allow for stable occupancy, even during downturns. The technology industry in San Diego remains strong. As Cushman & Wakefield's Tech 2.0 report ranks San Diego as a critical city in the United States. This is due to the $2.2 billion in venture capital, its strong millennial presence, and its top talent. The biotech industry remains a key economic driver of our market, being ranked the third largest employment cluster in California and receiving the third largest funding from the National Institute of Health, over $850 million. In addition to a world top talent that we have produced out of San Diego, we foresee each of these industries continuing to be successful and grow in the San Diego market. Our office campus of the Landing is built and designed to accommodate dynamic businesses that are changing, with 40,000 to 30,000 square foot floor plates. We have designed 15-foot ceilings with floor-to-ceiling expansive windows. We've also created a synergy between our tenants and the ground floor restaurant that will pay homage to the history site. The tenants can use this as a lunch option, they can meet with clients, or they can cater small or large business meetings. This is also open to the public. As you can see on the screen, we have provided unparalleled amenities to our tenants. Our office campus is an opportunity for mixed-use development that we know can achieve above-market rents. In addition, Apple has added over 1,200 jobs to the San Diego market over the next 3 years. And Port Plaza's recent approval to cut down its retail and add creative office is attracting FAANG companies to our city, and we believe it will continue to grow as San Diego deserves it. Our campus is the best site in San Diego County for a fresh, new site with a fresh identity. I'll now pass it off to Kelly to speak on the hotel.
Thank you, Tyler. Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly. Let me tell you a little bit about San Diego's hotel market. According to CBRE's Hotel Trend Report, San Diego has a county-wide hotel occupancy of 82% and a RevPAR of 160. Our hotels will serve both San Diego's robust tourism industry and out-of-town business travelers. Our site is perfect for tourists because they will have access to all of San Diego County through the Old Town Transit Center. Additionally, San Diego's Convention Center plans on increasing its number of conventions from 43 to 57 this year, adding nearly 30,000 more attendees. Thousands of out-of-town business travelers visit Spayward annually, and our site will be the most convenient place for them to stay. Additionally, because of these travelers that come to Spayward so often, these hotels will be a profitable asset into the future. And since so many of these business travelers work with the government, even in a downturn, our hotels will see stable occupancy. As my team members have shown, this site is highly underutilized, and that is why we decided to allocate 3.41 acres of our land to hotel. Our plan is to entitle the land in year 1 and sell our leasehold interest in year 2 for $22 million. We are not hotel developers, and that is why we decided it was in ours and the hotel's best interest to sell our leasehold position. The hotel developers will get a 55-year ground lease, escalating at 12% every 5 years with a 20-year option to renew. We envision a 150-key extended stay hotel as well as a 180-key limited stay, similar to the service level of the Element by Marriott and the Tapestry Collection by Hilton. Next, Christian will tell you about our retail component.
Thank you, Kelly. Test. So some of you may be thinking, Christian, how is there anything interesting to say about retail? Over 10,000 employees, with over 3,000 residents on site. Retail is a necessary, quite frankly, obvious component. And I agree. However, retail is not just a necessary use. It is the use that welcomes the San Diego community and fosters a communal atmosphere. Our 50,000 square feet of retail caters primarily to food and beverage tenants. Now, why is that? Well, today, there is a greater push for convenient, prepared foods. A growing millennial and now Gen Z influence, and and the emergence of inner-ring suburbs as the industry's hottest market. Moreover, total food and beverage U.S. categories retail sales have grown 24% in the past 10 years, and according to San Diego's CBRE research team, 6% within the last year alone in San Diego. Much destination is occurring in these inner-ring suburbs. As a result, bars, restaurants, and especially grocery stores are ideal tenants for mixed-use complexes such as ours, serving as a gathering space for residents and employees alike. Being an inner-ring suburb grants us the dual benefit of higher food and beverage spending by suburban households. And very few first-ring suburbs require the higher lease rates typical of urban cores. So I contacted the Los Angeles-based organic grocer Erewhon, known for producing their macrobiotic staples, and secured a letter of intent stating that they will occupy our site for 10 years with 2 5-year renewal options. I didn't have to tour them in the market. I didn't have to sell them on our site. I know they should be here. And it's simple. Majority of our residents and employees are millennials. And if you speak with the CEO of Erewhon, he'll tell you, well, we don't really care about that. Right? We cater to all demographic cohorts, and we're more about serving the community. And that's fine. But consider this. Millennial spending on food and beverage will exceed all other generations within the next 10 years. We dine out more than generations. Our debt is lowering as our income grows, resulting in higher spending on food and beverage, sometimes in volume, sometimes in price. Erewhon should be here not because it says so, but because the residents and employees say so. Today, consumers are driving the ship, and for retailers, it's all about aligning with their customers' core values. Along with food and beverage, and thanks to Instagram and Snapchat giving rise to the selfie, health and wellness and health and beauty categories are 2 categories that are thriving in today's opaque retail environment. I managed to secure an additional occupier from a relationship that I've built being a San Diegan and in the business. Paige Petrich, founder of Bubble Lash Bar, an esthetician salon located here in Golden Hill, had disassociated by our project. The landing is the perfect project and the ideal location for my salon. We love environments that share our values and have a strong sense of place. But of course, success in today's retail environment requires much more than the right tenants. The landing is competitive and differentiated with its robust greenery, communal atmosphere, all in an inner-ring suburb, offering you a place to call home. Some people will criticize me and say, Christian, your retail is too small. You have only 50,000 square feet of retail, 80,000 square feet of office, 2,000 units, whatever. That's fine. If we need more retail, I have good news for you. Most people believe that with the rise of far less people getting driver's licenses these days, the popularity of peer-to-peer drive-sharing service apps, and the scary but exciting world of autonomous vehicles, people will agree that parking in urban environments is a thing of the past. I'm a little iffy on that. But insofar that does happen, we're ready for it. Because the free service-based parking adjacent to our retail is buildable land we give back in the future at no cost. Now, I'm going to pass it on to Bjorn, who will speak on our construction timeline and our capital structure. Thank you.
235,000 rentable square feet of office, 18,000 square feet of retail. This phase will start in year 2 with hotel, be followed by office and multifamily. Excuse me, it starts with retail and then goes to office and multifamily. In our last phase, we will have 274,000 rentable square feet of office and 551 units of multifamily in our Apple Infinity Loop campus inspired building. We decided to phase our project over 10 years with 3 segments due to the size as well as our research into the supply and demand of the market. We did not want to flood the market with too much supply in a short period of time. With that being said, we started our phase 1 at the center of our site, at Enterprise, and Pacific Highway. We wanted to create an exciting core for the landing before heading into phase 2. In phase 2, we will further enhance our tech campus feel, as well as start to create the live, work, and play environment that we have visualized. In addition, we will raise $153 million worth of equity. We were also able to underwrite a 6% interest rate on our construction loan and an 11% interest rate on our mezzanine loan. Again, after speaking with HFF and other numerous professionals, we confirmed that these numbers are not only realistic, but are being used in the market today. By using debt, we were able to significantly boost our internal rate of return as well as our investor profit. And now, I'm going to hand it off to Scott, who will dive deeper into the financials.
Thank you, Bjorn. Hello, everyone. My name is Scott. We at Aztec Development consider ourselves to be merchant builders, and we plan to sell the phases of our leasehold that we develop at each use's respective stabilization. Our 3 phases of multifamily will require $562 million and will have a leveraged IRR of 20.48%. Our office campus will demand $431 million and will reach a leveraged IRR of 21.20%. Retail will consume $25 million and will have a leveraged IRR of 20.36%. Our 2 hotel parcels will be sold for a combined total of $22 million. With the revenue of selling the hotels, the landing as a whole will have a collective leveraged IRR of 23.42%. We believe that we are able to provide the Navy with an amazing total residual land value of $175 million, which equates to a weighted average of $82.50. Multifamily has been calculated to have a residual land value of $85. The office campus really brings it home with the residual land value of $106 per square foot of land. The complementary retail and hotel features each have a residual land value of $30. With the exception of hotel, each phase will be paying its own ground lease payment starting at the time our plans get approved. And with an 8% rate of return on the land, the Navy can foresee $140 million throughout our 10-year phasing strategy. Since we are collecting the future income streams of the hotel through a sandwich ground lease, we will be responsible for paying the Navy the ground lease payments on the hotel's behalf. By doing this, we can reinvest that money through a liquid vehicle and further increase our profits. By the time the hotels have the option to exercise their renewal in year 55, the Navy will oversee $27 million in ground lease payments that we will pay them. Aztec Development will earn $72 million, assuming a modest 4% compound growth rate per year. When it comes to cap rates, we want to remain competitive, but we must remind ourselves that this is a federal ground lease and we must account for that, which is why these numbers may seem a little high to you. For multifamily, we underwrote an exit cap of 5.25%, office 7%, and retail 6.75%. Our return on cost for each use is 7.25% for multifamily, 9.25% for office, and 8.75% for retail. You may notice about a 2% difference in these numbers, which we use to account for the risk associated with any development project, as well as the risk associated with recessions in the future. As previously mentioned, the landing will cost just over $1.1 billion, and due to our conservative underwriting, we can foresee returns to equity of over $300 million. We will be providing a 90-10 partnership split with the equity. To begin, we need $153 million. Aztec Development is coming to the table with $13 million. And we are seeking today $115 million. That starting equity gets us through phase 1 of each use and covers the ground lease payments of phases 2 and 3 until construction begins. As you've learned today, from our competitive returns to investors, our site's central coastal location, our modern apartments, innovative office, lively retail and accommodating hotels, to our luscious community green space. The live, work, playability is exactly what the Midway District needs. The landing is what the Navy needs. The landing is what San Diego needs. We would like to thank everyone that helped in the creation of the landing, as well as all of you for showing up today to support us, and NAIOP and the judges and sponsors for giving us this amazing opportunity. We are Aztec Development. Thank you.
First off, thank you all for coming out here today. And a special shout out to all the Torreros who made it out. We really appreciate your support. We also want to do a quick thank you to all of our sponsors who let us promote this opportunity for us. This has been a tremendous experience, and we really are gracious for all this opportunity to be here. We present to you Delta District, an innovative multi-purpose project that promotes San Diego socially, culturally, and economically. From the start of this project, first of all, my name is Alex Spangler. I'm joined by my phenomenal teammates, Alex Marachini, Claire Mudd, Mitch DiLorenzo, Ryan Todd, and Zach Burns. Special shout out to our friends at SGPA, Zach, Jeanette, and Hill. Thank you for your support. From the start of this project, we wanted to create a sense of community where people of all demographics can come and have a pleasurable experience. We wanted to expand upon the live, work, play model and add learning and innovating. With that, since we wanted to promote San Diego culturally, socially, and economically, these were the three primary drivers of our project. To start with a few, we wanted to focus on the military. San Diego has deep roots with the military culture, and we wanted to make sure that we honor what they did for our city and for this country. Next, housing affordability is a huge issue in San Diego. We're in the midst of a housing crisis, and we wanted to do everything possible to help mitigate this issue. Lastly, innovation. Being the third largest cluster for innovation in the entire nation, innovation was a primary driver for our economy, and not only for boosting innovation, but for retaining talent. I'll now pass it to Alex to talk about our executive summary.
Our Delta District site is 48.7 acres. This is a unique infill development in a major metropolitan area with very little restrictions. This allowed us to be very creative in our development of 41.5 million square feet. One of the major objectives of this competition was to maximize land residual. However, to us, another important facet was community benefit. You can see the different community benefits as it is on the slide. Now, there is a cost to presenting so many community benefits. However, we were comfortable with our 16.1% leveraged IRR and felt it was an acceptable return to both provide a significant community benefit and an attractive land residual. We will now walk you through our site.
Thanks, Alex. Due to the sheer magnitude of our site of 48.7 acres, we felt it necessary to build our product in two phases. The first is shown here. Our inception is in 2019, and we've accounted for 2 years of entitlement process and a NEPA review. Phase 1 breaks ground in 2021 with 45,000 square feet of park space. This is to serve the community immediately. We felt this as a priority for our project, along with our 400 units of purpose-built affordable housing catered to the residents in the community earning between 30 and 80% of the area median income. Following, we have both our military transitional housing and our Patriots Outpost. 460 units of market rate housing is split between the two facilities here and features approximately 32,000 square feet of office space. Next, we have both of our hotels, sharing 505 total rooms between a dual-branded, conventional, and extended stay hotel and a micro-unit hotel. At the core of our project is our innovation Innovation Center, along with its adjoining campus. The two share 98,000 square feet of office space and 54,000 square feet of retail. The final phase of our first phase of our project is our contractor campus, which features approximately 570,000 square feet of office space. The first phase of our project was intended to service the immediate needs of the community, which we saw as providing open space and affordable housing to the severely underserviced Pacific Midway District. We purposefully put our office campuses closest to the bridge that connects what we believe to be the New Spayware site across BCH to our site to create ease of access between residents living and working on our site. The second phase of our development breaks ground 4 years later in 2025, beginning with our automated parking garage featuring 1,000 stalls to service our multifamily towers that I'll touch on in a second. The first of our multifamily towers is on the north end of our site, along with the following three, which feature 2,720 market rate units. Along the spine of our site is 450,000 square feet of walking promenade and, on the top of our buildings as well, green roofs and terraces, both to create a sense of community and embrace a sustainable community. In terms of our stabilizations, we feel that our first tower will stabilize 3 years after we break ground in phase 2, and each tower following 2 years incrementally until our final stabilization in 2036. You might notice that on our site, our density is pushed towards the north side of our site. This was purposeful. It was to create the ease of access for our residents and our office workers on the north side of our site to be in close proximity to the Old Town Transit Stop, which is adjacent to our site. Now, while our site features a variety of product types, housing comprises a majority of both the space and the revenue generation. We feature 4,060 total housing units, of which 3,660 are of market rate. We erred on a micro unit size so we could reduce our living quarters, be efficient with our construction costs, and reduce that monthly rent check for the working class resident that would be living on our site. We also expect that this demographic that would live in these market rate towers will be working on or near our site. These towers are also targeted to what we identify as the missing middle of an income demographic in the Midway Pacific District. This missing middle is distinguished as residents earning between 80 and 120% of the area median income, which we feel is severely underserviced currently. We also provided 400 units of purpose-built affordable housing, as I said prior, catering toward the residents earning between 30 and 80% of the area median income, which now stands at approximately $81,000 in San Diego County. Now to touch on another product type that both combines the community benefit and affordable housing options is Claire.
Thank you, Zach. Given that San Diego has the third largest veteran population in the nation, and 13% of the total San Diego population is made up of the active duty military personnel and veterans, it was natural for us to implement Patriot Outpost and the Delta District project. The services that Patriot Outpost will offer include employment, education, daily needs, and health and wellness. I spoke with 4 military support organizations that provide these services, and each of them expressed interest in occupying the office space at Patriot Outpost and feel that the opportunity to be in one central location will allow them to provide these services. To emphasize our community benefit further, Patriot Outpost will have 460 market rate units, which will be on top of Patriot Outpost and adjacent to Patriot Outpost. These market rate units will be catered towards our active duty, retired, and transitioning military personnel, with the hope that they will occupy these units, granted that Patriot Outpost will house the support services that they need. We also hope that many of our active duty and veteran personnel will have career opportunities at the Delta District office campus and with Spayware. Ryan will now provide a complete overview of our Delta District office campus.
The defense sector, more than twice the size of travel and entertainment, has become San Diego's most important and largest economic driver. For the fiscal year 2019, San Diego Military Advisory Council has projected total direct spending to rise to $26.7 billion as the Department of Defense continues their commitment to prioritizing the Pacific region. As expressed in the National Defense Strategy and the Navy's Design 2.0, the U.S. has set the objective of modernizing by using space and cyberspace as warfighting domains. Information has evolved into a critical warfare domain, and it is SPAWAR that remains the Navy's lead channel for research and development of these technologies. It is paramount that the synergy between SPAWAR and our private sector contractors continues to evolve in ways that best fosters these advancements. At 570,000 of our overall 700,000 square feet of office space, Delta's contractor campus will act as a central hub for DoD contractors and service providers who work with SPAWAR and the Navy. From our discussions with SD Mac, Booz Allen Hamilton, BAE Systems, and SAIC, we have addressed their key needs. Delta's shared work and conference space allow contractors to expand and contract with their program life cycles at SPAWAR. By offering expansibility through co-working space, Delta District also opens opportunities for smaller, more specialized companies. Utilizing efficient square foot to employer ratios and access to shared and work conference spaces, Delta allows for a competitive total monthly cost for office users. With Delta's centralized office space, transport hub, exposure to the Innovation Center, our affordable housing options, our DoD contractors will have first access to a pipeline of ideas and talent, all while addressing the Navy's desire for contractors to be immediately proximate. This is the synergy we're looking to create and deliver with this project. Mitch will expand into our Innovation Center.
Thanks, Ryan. As Ryan mentioned, the military is the largest economic driver in San Diego. The innovation economy is second. San Diego it ranks second in the most amount of patents recorded annually in the United States. We plan to enhance this innovation economy with the Build Innovation Center in campus for a total of 154,000 square feet. That includes office, 98,000 being office and conference space, while 56 being food and beverage and experiential retail. We will provide a centralized location for the existing public and private sectors of SPAWAR and the innovation economy to have access to young talent. It is imperative and mission critical that for an innovation center to work, there must be a foundation in education. We have had extensive conversations with Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, as well as Microsoft Systems and Software Academy. Both have a STEM-based curriculum that focuses cybersecurity, aeronautical engineering, and software engineering. We bolster SPAWAR, our innovation economy, and young talent, providing a true place they can live with our multifamily, work in our innovation center and office campus, play in our experiential retail, learn through our educational systems, and innovate, most importantly, to keep the San Diego innovation economy running. Directly adjacent to our innovation center will be our two hospitality options. Delta District offers 505 hotel rooms. 302 of those hotel rooms will be a conventional and extended stay hotel. 203 of those hotel rooms will be a micro hotel room, similar to Citizen M or Moto by Hilton. Our guests will include the 70,000 families that attend the MCRD graduations directly across the street. The graduations happen weekly, as well as the DoD contractors and SPAWAR employees that travel to our site for an extended period of time, as well as the 35.8 million tourists that come to San Diego annually. Our site offers a unique location, being close to the airport with easy access to and from, and the San Diego attractions, being the zoo, Balboa Park, and Old Town and the beach. Our guests will have plenty of eateries and entertainment options as well, Alex will go further into the retail segment.
Thanks, Mitch. The retail portion of our project will deliver 201,000 square feet, split between general ground floor retail, daily needs center, and a wellness center. The daily needs center is specifically designed to fit the needs of our residents living on site. It will include facilities such as a salon, a grocer, Amazon-style grocer, and a dry cleaner. Next, the wellness center will be specifically designed to promote mental and physical wellness. Now, obviously one of the big issues today is the increase in mental health issues, and we want to help combat that with services such as a counseling center and a meditation center. Outside of those facilities, we'll have a full-scale spa for anyone that needs a break. And let's be honest, don't we all? Now, the general ground floor retail is pretty straightforward. It'll just act as support retail for all of our different product types. As venues for entertainment, we'll have a beverage plaza that will have an open container policy, similar to Little Italy's Piazza della Famiglia. I don't know if any of you have been there before, but it's a beautiful plaza. We plan to bring the same style and place it adjacent to our innovation center. Next, we will have a virtual reality arcade similar to a 2-Bit Circus. This facility, 2-Bit Circus, combines retro-style arcade games and adds a modern virtual reality element to them, along with fully immersive virtual reality experiences that will deliver a product that San Diego has not seen before. Lastly, we'll put in an e-gaming facility in our innovation center. E-gaming is currently valued at $138 billion, which is more than the music and movie industry combined. Some streamers will make millions of dollars each year from streaming video games alone. So Mom, I know all those times that you told me I was wasting time playing video games, you might have been wrong, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now, the e-gaming facility will be equipped with the highest level Wi-Fi and technology to meet the needs of the e-gaming tournaments. Outside of that, when the facility is not being used for e-gaming, there's the potential for Spayborg and different contractors to run their advanced simulations in that facility, since it will be equipped with that technology. Outside of our retail and entertainment options, we wanted to provide substantial community benefit. And to touch on that, I'll pass it back to Mitch.
The Delta District is proud to offer a 1-acre park at the southern end of our site, as well as a 250,000 square foot walking product from the bottom of our site in the park all the way through the spine of our property to a public art experience that connects the Old Town Trolley Stop to our Spayborg site, making easy access to and from the trolley stop to the Delta District. As well as we kept the park at the southern end of the site to enhance the views of the downtown skyline and the San Diego Bay. An amenity in our open space area will be a nature center. This is nothing like any of you have seen before. It's a place where you go in, you leave your phone, leave your stress, leave the world behind, and truly embrace nature for all that it's worth. Next is the transit segment of our presentation. As mentioned earlier, the density of our property is to the northern end, closest to the Old Town Trolley Stop. On our location, we provide easy access to and from and in our property through the self-driving shuttles that are coming online this May in Washington, D.C., brought to you by local motors, as well as lanes and parking stalls for our micro-transit, being those scooters that you see driving around and the bikes. We will also have plenty of rideshare, pickup, and drop-off locations throughout our site for easy access as well. Now we'll move on to our financial projections.
Thanks, Mitch. So as you can see, we have a land residual value of $107.4 million. That brings us to a $1.6 billion total project cost. I wanted to present our land residual value in two square per foot numbers. The first being the buildable pad area at $88 per square foot, and the second being the gross land area at $51 per square foot. Now for the final site overview.
Thanks, Alex. Let me take you on a tour of the Delta District. What we provided for you today is an aerial view of the entirety of our site to add some clarity into what we envision implemented here. At the south end of our site, we have our 45,000 square feet of park space, serving an immediate community benefit to the Midway District. On the top of your screen, you'll see our 400-unit purpose-built affordable housing complex, and opposite our military and Patriot outpost. We have our micro-unit hotel and our dual-branded hotel opposite corner. At the core of our site, we have our innovation center and its adjoining campus. We have our office campuses featuring 570,000 square feet of office space, and our walkability, a risen walkway to really create a sense of place in the heart of our site. On the north side of our site, we have our multifamily density. And finally, we have our automated parking garage, serving 1,000 parking stalls. And we have a fly-through that really endorses the true walkability of our site. It creates a sense of space lined by ground floor retail, and it adds to the live, work, play experience to create a space where people can also learn, and most importantly, innovate. As a final note, we'd like to thank the many business professionals that have helped us throughout this entire project. It wouldn't be possible without them. A special thank you to our director staff and our other director, Jake Schwartz, Urban Housing Partners. And we thank you all for coming out today.
Hello everyone, my name is Haida Xu. I'm a graduating senior at UCSD. Thank you for being patient with us tonight, and it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Triton Associates, Team UCSD. Jonathan Rivas, graduating senior, majoring in urban studies and planning, minor in real estate development. Sable Beltran, a third-year USP major. John Harris, a fourth-year graduating senior from USP as well. Diana, graduating third year from USP department as well. And Daniel Lamar, graduating fourth year real estate development major. Now I will turn it to John to kick us off.
Excellent. Thank you, Randy. Now, it's all right. Hello, everyone. My name is John Harris, and it is my distinct pleasure to begin UC San Diego's presentation to highlight the true highest and best use of the Spayware facility, Midway Pacific. Now, we are all incredibly proud to present to all of you and our panel of judges on this one-of-a-kind opportunity to recatalyze this space and launch San Diego into the future. Much as this site proved to be a catalyst for economic development during and after World War II, Midway Pacific will once again recatalyze innovation and spark robust economic development right in the heart of San Diego. By leveraging the unique history of this site and combining it with innovative planning, unique architecture, and responsible finance, Midway Pacific will become an integral part of the San Diego built environment with something for everyone. With a robust mix of uses throughout the entire site, Midway Pacific will become a shining beacon of how to create livable, mixed-use communities. With 2,000 market-rate residential units, plus space for 200-plus affordable housing units, Midway Pacific will become a new neighborhood within San Diego. We have also provided for 400,000 square feet of flexible, high-tech, and creative office space, as well as 150,000 square feet of retail, plus a public market. We've also provided 2 hotels totaling 270 rooms for both tourists and business travelers to the San Diego area. In the middle of our development is a large, centrally located park with outdoor bandstand for everyone's enjoyment. 3 shared parking structures throughout our site, as well as wide sidewalks and an interconnected network of green space, allows for walkability and encourages social interaction throughout the entire site. Now, we anticipate an 8-year total timeline, with the first 2 years consisting of NEPA entitlements, followed by 6 years of construction in 3 separate phases. This will provide for the stabilization of our various uses in between years 6 and 8. We anticipate a total cost of $1.05 billion and an initial ask of $421 million. This will create the total value after stabilization will be $1.25 billion, creating a residual land value for the Navy of $214 million. This also creates an initial yield on cost after stabilization of 7.2%, an unlevered pre-tax IRR of 9.5%, and a levered pre-tax IRR of 16.5% after considering financing. This will create realistic returns that will directly benefit the Navy. Now, in order to accomplish this endeavor, we really had to reimagine the site and think of what could be. We wanted to create something that would not only directly benefit the Navy, but would directly benefit the city of San Diego and the greater region as a whole. To do this, we crafted a vision statement to help guide us to the highest and best use of this site on a complete and holistic way. This vision is to realize long-term value for the Navy while simultaneously reinforcing the connection between the San Diego region and the Navy through the creation of this dynamic mixed-use neighborhood. Most importantly, Midway Pacific will both physically and symbolically represent the connection between the San Diego region and the Navy through the creation of this dynamic mixed-use neighborhood anchored around the one-of-a-kind mixed-use destination and urban hub known as the Hangar. Now, the Hangar is the shining beacon of our site and the key to the revitalization of this entire area. By embracing the historical heritage of San Diego and the Spayware facility, while simultaneously providing for this dynamic mixed-use site, the Hangar will become an integral part of the San Diego built environment, with something for everyone and connecting everyone. Now, I would like to hand it over to Haida to go over some of the inspirations for Midway Pacific and to go over some of the amazing aspects of our site.
Thank you, John. As you can see on the map, Midway Pacific is within 10 minutes of drive from Mission Valley, Hillcrest, SD Downtown, Airport, and also Liberty Station. It is in the heart of San Diego. So it is important for us to create an impact on the entire region, just like Navy's relationship with the city goes beyond the boundaries of this site. We actively responded to Sandex's appeal for creating a Grand Central Station in San Diego. The Hangar is our answer to Sandex. It is a mixed-use transportation hub that connects Old Town area and the airport. It will offer every San Diegan a transit alternative to the airport. From there, our mission to the site is to create a lively, vibrant, urban neighborhood around the transportation hub. So what does that mean? We looked at examples around the world. 10 minutes away, we looked at San Diego downtown. It's one of the most sought-out communities in the States that gave San Diego its own characteristics. We looked at Manhattan. We also looked at Barcelona in Spain. We concluded that it's the grids, the blocks in these neighborhoods that gave them the vitality and made them successful. So we came back to this site, this long, linear, boring site of 50 acres. And we broke it with grids to blocks, just like other successful neighborhoods. Not only it gives every user coming to the site an active, vibrant street life all the time throughout the day, but also offers us great financial flexibilities for future developers. Now, I will let Sable introduce the great mix of uses that we strategically put on these blocks to ensure the active street life we want.
Thanks, Haida. As you've heard from my other team members, the site has the potential to recatalyze Midway. In order to achieve this and our vision, we came up with 5 guiding principles. The first is to create livable, mixed-use urban blocks to create a walkable and vibrant community. The second is to utilize sustainable design that inspires innovation, particularly in the Hangar. The third is to realize the Navy's vision while strengthening their connection with the region. The fourth is to maximize value for the Navy through creative and responsible fiscal decisions. And lastly, to increase density while embracing historical heritage through creative and meaningful design. All of the decisions we made regarding our site can be traced back to at least one of these principles. Keep them in mind as I now walk you through our site plan. The key feature of our site is the Hangar. it plays a vital role in launching our site into the 21st century. Right now, as current Spaywear employees have told us, the site serves a vital, yet sole purpose, to serve the Navy as they work in cybersecurity. However, as Spaywear consolidates their needs into a 20-acre site across the street, this massive site now has the potential to serve the public as well. Much like the iconic train station in Berlin, we aim to create a mixed-use, transit-oriented hub, including a public market, high-tech office space, studio space for artists and creative entrepreneurs, and a transit connection to San Diego's airport. On the ground floor of the hangar, we'll have an indoor-outdoor public market and retail. On the second floor, we have the potential to house the transit station to the airport to be a gondola or people mover, both of which are ways Sandag is considering creating this connection in real time. On floors 3 through 6 of the hangar, we will have flexible office space and studio space for artists and creative entrepreneurs. The design of the hangar honors the historic heritage of the site by reusing the red steel beams that currently connect the existing Spaywear buildings. From these will hang a B-24 plane to commemorate those that were built here during World War II. Additionally, around the hangar, we will have a plaque and public art pieces honoring Rosie the Riveter and the women who revolutionized the workforce here during World War II. The next aspect of our site that has the potential to recatalyze the area is the residential product we are building. This includes 2,000 market rate units, which you can see in yellow, and we have space set aside for 200 or more units for affordable housing, which you can see in white. The market rate units can take advantage of views to the bay and downtown, and others will have rooftop gardens to provide further green space and amenities. We have 500 studios that could potentially serve as workforce housing for those who don't qualify for affordable, but would otherwise struggle to afford these market rate units as they enter the workforce. The space we have set aside for affordable housing will be subleased to an affordable housing developer. Providing affordable housing on our site provides public benefit as it opens up this site to low-income folks and their families, and does so within walking distance of a high-quality grocery store, high-quality schools, and robust transit connections. The next aspect of our site that has the potential to revolutionize the area is the 400,000 square feet of office we are building. This includes medical office, UCSD extension, high-tech office, and studio space for creative entrepreneurs. This includes medical services, the pursuit of higher education, the potential for innovation in technology, and high-tech and incubator office space. The tech and university presses in particular complement that of Spaywear in the pursuit of cutting-edge technology and cybersecurity. The next aspect of our site that has the potential to enliven the area is the 2 hotels we're building. As we created these ideal transit connections with a 10-minute ride to the airport and a 5-minute walk to Old Town Transit Center, we've decided upon 2 hotels. The first of which is a Moxie with 150 keys, the second is an Element, an extended stay with 120 keys. These are placed right next to each other in order to consolidate a management and cleaning crew. Additionally, one hotel can be oversold so that visitors can upgrade to the other hotel. These are more modern hotels which will appeal to millennials who, in 10 years when the site is built out, will be seeking out more modern options such as these. Whether they're coming for work or bringing their families along for vacation, we have options that can serve both needs. In order to complement all of these other uses, we've included 150,000 square feet of retail. Market research found no high-end grocery stores or gyms in the area, so we decided upon a Gelson's, a high-quality grocery store, an Equinox, a high-end gym, a Rite Aid, and Urge, a lively restaurant with entertainment aspect. It is vital that we have this retail on site so that residents can walk to the grocery store when they're ready to make dinner. Spaywear employees can come utilize our restaurant after work, and hotel guests have easy access to the gym on site. Now, whether you work here, live here, or are just visiting, we've set aside space for recreation in our centrally located park called The Yard. It will include a band shell that can serve both the Navy and the public with live music. Additionally, it could potentially serve as a launching site for the Big Bay Boom, San Diego's annual 4th of July fireworks show. Now, in an area that lacks walkability, it is crucial that we intersperse open space throughout our site. In order to address this, we've included lots of open space, and particularly pocket parks throughout the site to encourage walkability. Both the Yard and the pocket parks have the potential for programming, and the Yard, pocket parks, and an improved pedestrian pathway to Old Town Transit Center show our visitors that pedestrian comfort and safety is of the utmost importance throughout our site. Now, although sustainability is one of our guiding principles, and this is an ideal site to take transit to or from, we understand that many people are still driving in their personal vehicles. To accommodate this, we've included 3 shared parking structures. Now, initially for the site, we were given Center City parking requirements. However, as of March 19th, Center City parking requirements have been reduced to 0 required spaces for multiple dwelling unit developments if the infrastructure for alternative modes of transit is provided and encouraged. Because of this, we lowered our total number of parking spaces to 1,810. We will provide various resources and amenities to encourage our visitors to utilize alternative modes of transit, such as micro-mobility corrals, bike lanes, MTS ticket dispensers, rideshare pick-up and drop-off points, and electric vehicle charging stations. But in continually pushing innovation in our design, we designed our parking structures as flat deck parking structures with ramps along the outside, so that in the future, they could potentially be converted into office space. This is yet another way Mimic Pacific is looking towards the future. Altogether, our Mimic Pacific plan brings a liveliness to the area that can serve Spayboard employees and contractors, residents of the site, visitors utilizing our hotel and transit options, and even San Diego natives. It's clear that it is not an insular site that serves only itself. It adds value to the surrounding community as well. Now, Jonathan will tell you a little bit more about our market analysis and how we came to decide upon our land uses and square footage.
Hello, thank you. Thank you, Sable. Now let's get into this market analysis. During the 1940s, this site was a perfect example of how growing industries can serve as a catalyst for growth and development in San Diego. However, as we have seen in history, whenever we see this growth, we also face housing issues. Now, let's take a look at how it is today. San Diego region is grossly undersupplied with enough homes to support the growing population. According to Sandag, over 500,000 new homes are required by the year 2050, but only about 367,000 units are currently allowed under local planning regulations. Not only that, but our client, the Navy, will be adding 20 new warships and 15,000 new sailors and their families to the region by 2025. This overwhelming shortage of homes informed us that residential product would be a focus to be capitalized on and that it would be a missed opportunity to not address the city's needs. Let's begin with our residential piece. Comparable projects within this area currently have an average vacancy of 8.68%, and average rents with projects open in the last 5 years has been $3.13 per square foot per month. Based on the last year of new development in 2016, over 1,000 units were 83% absorbed within that just 1 year. With our in-depth analysis of the local multifamily environment, we can conclude that our site will rent at an average of $3.37 and not only succeed, but outcompete anything that is or will be in the area. And not only that, we have a growing and robust business traveler market. Key indicators of that success have been how occupancy grew by 11%, ADR by 12.3%, and RevPAR by staggering 24.7% in just 2018. Trian Associates envisions our hotels to succeed far into the future. As this map shows, we're the only branded hotels outside of downtown that will be catering to this up and coming demographic. Our site is centrally located to major hotel demand drivers. We expect our proximity to downtown to be beneficial in capturing customer spillover that currently pours into Mission Valley just because we're that much closer. By offering regular and extended stay, we also expect to capture a greater variety of the market. With 2,000 units, hotel guests, office workers, and visitors to our site, we create the opportunity for supportive retail. The local retail market shows signs of potential growth, with vacancy super low at 1.86% at a 4-mile radius. In addition, for central San Diego, rents have been $2.92 for general retail. However, we see an opportunity for premium rents, with specialty centers posting an average rent of $5.83 in that same area. In addition, vacancy was as low as 2% in 4-mile radius, but will continue to drop. Although absorption was negative for 2018, there's only about 390,000 square feet in the pipeline, which is pretty minimal for the near future. The main drivers of traffic will be our strategically chosen anchors. As this map shows, our proximity to other high-quality grocery stores, we see the opportunity for an additional store in a Gelson's. Also, within a 6-mile radius, there is only one competing high-end gym, which is why we'll be adding an Equinox. With our anchors, we will be providing a level of service not seen in the surrounding community, and with our relation to transit, we envision outsiders from all over San Diego to flock to our site. Now, let's not forget about work though. Midway Pacific is the future of office in San Diego. Office demand has been on the rise, doubling between 2017 and 2018, with over 1 million square feet absorbed in San Diego. An analysis of comparable Class A office space in a 4-mile radius shows us that vacancy sits at 10.8% and will continue to drop, while rental rates are at $3.02 per square foot per month and will continue to rise. A majority of our competitors and existing and planned are in downtown, so with our proximity to downtown, a lower price point, we expect tenants to favor our prime location right next to the airport. Now, let's talk these potential tenants. San Diego has already caught the eye of major high-tech companies like Google, Apple, and Amazon, but we also see the opportunity for satellite offices of other big corporations. In addition, following this trend, we can expect smaller tech companies to follow suit. Now, also just take a look around. Spadeware's multitude of subcontractors are in need of new space to keep up with growth and innovation. With today's fast-paced, connected world, companies are vehemently competing for the young talent that they need to continue business. San Diego should be the perfect location to attract and retain this highly educated workforce. However, there's a brain drain that currently exists in the region.
The phase of the development will be the best course of action to make it feasible and profitable. Our phasing timeline starts with a 2-year NEPA and entitlement period. This 2-year period also includes a time for an EIS, which will allow us to explore possible options to reduce the development's potential impacts, as well as facilitate a more transparent entitlement process. As mentioned earlier, the residential portion of the site will consist of 2,000 units. Residential development will be broken up into 3 phases, with the first phase consisting of 1,000 units, and the phases 2 and 3 consisting of 500 units. 400,000 square feet of office. The 400,000 square feet of office will be broken up into 2 phases, each consisting of 200,000 square feet of office space. The hotels, retail, and the hangar section of our site will be built concurrently in the initial phase of construction. Jumping over to our construction numbers that can be seen on the screen. Broken up by use in today's dollars, the total cost for Midway Pacific, including hard costs, soft costs, and land, comes out to just over $1 billion. The NOI stabilization is just about $75.5 million, and the yield on cost and stabilization is 7.18%. Diving deeper into the uses for our development, the residential portion of the site, consisting of 2,000 units, has an average rent of $3.37 per square foot at stabilization. The unit mix for residential portion of this project consists of studios, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom units, which have an average unit size of 650 square feet. Our next major use for Midway Pacific is 2 hotels, the Element and the Moxie, with a total of 270 keys. At stabilization between these 2 hotels, there will be just above 98.5 thousand rooms available per year. The ADR at stabilization will be $207 per night, with an average occupancy of 77% and a RevPAR of $167. In addition to our 2 hotels, we'll also have 400,000 square feet of office, with an average gross rent at stabilization of $4 per square foot. Finally, the last use on Midway Pacific is our 150,000 square feet of retail space. Like mentioned before, this retail space will include a grocery, a pharmacy, inline retail, and contribute to the square foot of the hangar. Average gross rent at stabilization for retail will be $3.20 per square foot. Now, here is John to close out this presentation.
Thank you, Daniel. Now, it's been made clear through Daniel's presentation that Midway Pacific is fiscally responsible, completely feasible, and will provide realistic returns that we as a team have the utmost of confidence in. But it's also been made clear through my other teammates' presentations that Midway Pacific will do much more than just provide realistic returns. It will provide vital community benefit to everyone in the San Diego region. Now, with an initial ask of $421 million, Midway Pacific represents an excellent opportunity to invest in the future of San Diego. I would like to end our presentation with a final statement. This 48-acre site in the heart of San Diego, with a rooted history of high-tech innovation and economic development, once again represents an opportunity to catalyze innovation and lead in the future development of the San Diego region. Now, we believe that the best way forward and the highest and best use of this site is to create the dynamic mixed-use neighborhood of Midway Pacific, anchored around the hangar and the idea of embracing the historical heritage of San Diego and providing community benefit for all people. Now, we hope that you all agree, and we are proud to conclude our presentation on the absolute highest and best use for this Baylor facility, Midway Pacific. Thank you so much.